So we're going to make a bruise, and we're going to use a bruise wheel. This one's from Kryolan. We're going to need a bruise wheel, some sponges and a palette. You can see all the different colours in there, and I'm just going to scoop them out for hygiene reasons. With my sponges, I'm going to pick the bits off the bottom so I get a kind of rough textured effect. So we know that bruises are patches that appear in the skin when tiny blood vessels called capillaries burst underneath. So your initial impact is going to be quite red. So if I was to bash my arm, say on like a corner unit, the initial impact would be quite red and my skin would look quite raw and sore. Over the next few hours, your bruise will start to kind of darken, go a little bit more purple on the impact site. This darkening can last until about the 5th day of the injury, and it's caused by a result of haemoglobin, which is typically red as it begins to turn blue. So on top of the red, I'm just deepening the darker purple tones, adding a little bit of blue in there, going in with a little bit of dark brown also, just to kind of give it a bit more depth. So the next kind of stage, you would lose all redness in the skin, so that's why I've taken that one off. I'm going to build up with a little bit of a kind of greeny browny colour. So this may be like day 3, maybe 4 or 5, as the bruise begins to lighten to a pale kind of yellowy tone around the edges. I'm going to then, once I've kind of got my basey tones there with the beige and the olive green colours in the palette, I'm going to start adding in your kind of purpley tone there, which looks quite strong just now, but I will blend it out. You'll see the final look. So the kind of greeny tones in the skin look quite disgusting, but this is a good sign. It's a sign that your body is actually beginning to heal. It's a sign that the haemoglobin is breaking down. So again, just going back in with the kind of yellowy browny tones, blending in that purple, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the darker purple that's in the palette, and I'm just going to add a little bit of definition and texture there to make it a little bit more realistic. So onto your kind of final stage of bruising. After about the 7th day of the injury, your bruise will begin to lighten to a pale yellow or light shade of brown. So you can see I'm kind of just creating that there. So this is the last stage of your body's reabsorption process, where your bruise won't change colour again, and it will just gradually fade away until it's completely gone. The colours in the final stage are yellows and browns, so using those out the palette, just kind of blending them gently on the skin, and kind of just taking them away as well, because the bruise will slowly fade through time, leaving you with your natural skin colour again, hopefully. Now remember, these are grease paint products, so in order for them to stay on the skin, they will need to be set.